How does the request-response cycle work for external APIs? Imagine sending a message to a friend and waiting for their reply. That's similar to how your backend communicates with external application programming interfaces. When your backend needs data or wants to send information, it starts a request. This request is like a letter sent over the internet, asking for specific data or to perform an action. First, your backend prepares an HTTP request. It chooses a method like GET to retrieve data, POST to send new data, PUT to update existing data, or delete to remove something. It then writes the URL of the API endpoint, which is like the address of the resource you want. Along with this, headers are added to include information like authentication tokens or content type. If it's a POST or PUT request, the request body contains the data you want to send, often formatted in JSON or Excel. Once the request is ready, it is sent over the internet using the HTTP or HTTPS protocol. This protocol ensures the message is formatted correctly and securely. The external API server receives the request and begins processing it. It first checks if the request is valid, verifying authentication tokens or API keys. Then, it runs any necessary business logic or queries the database to find or modify data. After processing, the server prepares a response. This response includes a status code, which tells your backend if the request was successful or if there was an error. For example, a status code of 200 means everything went well, while 404 indicates the resource was not found. The response also contains headers with metadata and a body with the data you asked for or an error message. The data is usually formatted in JSON or Excel, making it easy for your backend to parse and use. Your backend receives the response and handles it based on the status code. If successful, it might parse the data and store it or send it to the front end. If there was an error, it can retry, log the issue, or show an error message. Handling errors gracefully is important because external APIs can sometimes be slow or temporarily unavailable. When working with external APIs, you also need to consider security. Always store API keys securely and use HTTPS to encrypt data in transit. Many APIs requiring authentication, so including tokens or keys in headers is common. Rate limits are another factor. If you send too many requests too quickly, the API might block you temporarily. To improve performance, you can cache responses, reduce payload sizes, or make asynchronous requests so your application remains responsive. Understanding this request and response cycle is essential for backend developers. It allows you to connect your server with other services reliably, fetch data, send updates, and build powerful features without exposing complex details to users. This cycle is the backbone of integrating external APIs into your applications smoothly and securely.